Presented by Volunteers of America, helping America's most vulnerable.
The Buick LPGA Shanghai, part of the race to the CME Globe.
Oftentimes, expectations can far outreach what time eventually delivers. Potential can be erased by reality. But when three of the stars of women's golf came together in Shanghai for a Saturday showdown, hopes were high for something memorable. And thankfully, what was delivered this time went above and beyond.
Good as well, just flattening left. Well, there you go. Sets up another one.
After a captivating 6 under par third round, 26-year-old Jess Corder has positioned herself for a 6th worldwide victory in a 6th different nation. She leads by 1 going into Sunday. Hot on her heels and 27 years old today, her fellow American Danielle Kang. The defending champion shook off early adversity in round 3 to produce a watershed performance, one she may draw upon in years to come. And then there was Canada's tyro Brooke Henderson. Some mid-round moments of brilliance counterbalanced by a tough start and an even tougher finish. But the 22-year-old remains in the fight. For the second day running, the star trio will eyeball each other for 18 holes, knowing that nothing short of their best will be good enough. But if one or all of the headline acts stumble, the likes of world number 4, Japan's Nasa Hataoka, or emerging American rookie Kristen Gilman may just break from the pack to seize what will begin as an unlikely triumph. Is it possible that the extraordinary deeds of Saturday could be matched or even bettered one day later? Now is the time to find out. Welcome to the Shizhong Garden Golf Club in China. This is the final round of the Buick LPGA Shanghai. We have a hard act to follow after what happened here around this beautiful and challenging layout yesterday. What's in store for Sunday? We're about to find out. A big welcome from Peter Donegan to Shizhong Garden Golf Club in Shanghai for our final round coverage. And let's cast our minds back to some of those moments of brilliance yesterday. Brooke Henderson, tough start, tough finish, in between, just brilliant. Danielle Kang scrambling her way to a good score at times, and at others producing pieces of wizardry. That shot setting up an eagle at 17 to build a platform for the chase, and the chase will be against Jess Corder, who leads all comers going into Sunday. 6 under par round of 66 yesterday, and she found the best possible way to finish it off. A birdie at the last, taking Jess to the top of the leaderboard in search of that 6th victory. And as we go into the final 18 holes, it is Jessica Corder of America, the leader by 1 from her fellow American, the birthday girl, Danielle Kang, 27 today. Brooke Henderson, after a last hole disaster, finds herself 5 shots back from the lead. Perhaps too far back, but you never know in this game. Nasa Hataoka, Kristen Gilman, Angel Yin, and Se-Young Kim. What a star-studded lineup it is, and it also includes the world number 1, Jin Young Ko. So it's time to get to work, get everything down pat, get the procedures right, get the mind right, and get ready for Sunday, because after all, it is payday. and there is a very important title up for grabs here today. So that's why we've got the best in the world here, and out on the fairways with the best in the world is our very own Sandy McKenzie. Sandy, welcome to you on the final day.
Yeah, thanks, Pete, and good morning to you. And what a beautiful day it is. Yet again, a lot of blue sky around. We're going to hit sort of the mid-20s today. Perfect golfing conditions. And the breeze is down. That is going to be significant, down to about 6 kilometres an hour. So just a great day for scoring.
A great day for scoring and a great day for the top players in the world. 14 of the top 20 are here, and let's have a look at them. Kate Burton, Ali Whitaker.
21-year-old Se-Young Kim, Kristen Gilman, and Nasahata Oka, who's potentially one of the hottest players on the planet right now. 2 wins in her last 3 starts. Se-Young Kim inserted herself into the conversation, and looking forward to seeing the young American Gilman play today.
Oh, we have some fabulous players competing in this final group. Have a look at Jessica Korda, looking for her 6th win on the LPGA Tour. Danielle Kang, the defending champion, and Brooke Henderson, the darling of Canadian golf. She can always be a threat.
She's had that look of self-assuredness all the way through this week. She's come up with some moments of brilliance, and then at times she's been able to extricate herself from the most unlikely of predicaments.
78 yards for Jess Korda. Just got to punch this in. Pin's a long way back. Now that's got to go a little bit. Left herself fairly long range for a birdie.
And that was always going to be the problem, wasn't it? When it left the fairway, that she would have in the back of her mind that it might fly on her, and you don't want to be over the back there.
Yeah, advantage Kang. Oh, she's a good putter. Jin Young Ko practices, puts down a ruler about 5 foot away from the hole when she's on the practice putting green. Does that with her short game coach, Gareth Raflewski, who looks after a number of players. Interesting to see how she gets on in Busan next week, which is where we head, but business to be finished here first. And Henderson splashing out on 13, needing a lot to roll out with that shot, and it's not going to be. So a par 5 that is very straightforward, but in a momentary lapse of concentration becomes that much harder.
And that was just a moment ago. Here's Danielle Kang live out of the trap, trying to be Houdini again.
On the upslope, she's changed clubs 3 different times, bearing her wedges. She needs a bit of distance on this. Oh, she's got plenty. It's got to stop.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Just a tad too far.
2 putts for par. Jess has got her problems.
Now, on the upslope, was going to get an awful lot of height from it and caught it very cleanly. A bit too cleanly for what she was anticipating and hoping for.
Very similar records over the last 5. They're about to enter the last 5 stretch of holes. Jess Korda and Danielle Kang. They're both -4 for the last 5 holes. So if they stay true to form, then that eliminates everybody else from the contest, and in reality, that's probably been the case for a little while now. Unfortunately for Brooke Henderson, her fate was determined quite some time ago. And in fact, it may have even been determined at the 18th hole yesterday.
Yeah, it's just been a shame to watch a player of Brooke's calibre just struggle so much with her game. She's at you can really tell a sense of loss of what the heck is going on. This for birdie, it is long range. She has hold nothing.
That despair continues. It's okay to despair, but it's not okay to give up, and sometimes it could be so frustrating being out on the course trying to play as well as you can. Kristen Gilman is having a very solid showing in China, where she's making her debut and rewarded with another excellent approach.
Potential for back-to-back birdies for Kristen, having finally broken the ice at 13. One thing about Jess's length of putt here, Sandy, is it's something that she's used to on this Sunday.
Well, what a difference a day makes, though, Pete. Yesterday, she was just knocking the flagstick out time and time again and gave herself so many opportunities. Where today she's struggled getting in close, and she's just left herself too far away on these very, very difficult greens. Another long-range birdie putt for Jess, and she's holed nothing. Slides another one on by. A very frustrating day for her. And especially when you're playing alongside Danielle. Danielle keeps getting into trouble, as we keep mentioning. Gets out of jail all the time. It's quite extraordinary. And Jess has played well, but just nothing has gone for her. Missed a couple of short birdie putts mid-round as well.
At 14, Se-Young Kim's second shot. Good for distance. Breeze getting a little bit more around to the east by the look of it. It's behind them there at 14, so it'll be behind them at 15 as well.
Ko trying to make a late charge on this Sunday, and not on that hole. 15th hole for the world number one, coming up short. Wind getting the better of that.
So a little bonus round here for Danielle Kang now. This is a bonus if it goes in. It's difficult. But she's got 2 putts to maintain this one-shot lead after what Jess has done just a moment ago.
And the way she has been putting, you would expect that, you know, she's sort of got a very good idea of the pace of these greens. But it will be quick. Bounced a little bit on her as it left, but that's safe enough.
She said yesterday in her interview, Danielle Kang, there aren't many leaderboards to look at, but she doesn't need to look at her leaderboard because all she needs to know is exactly what Jess Corder is doing. It is a 2-horse race right now, unless NASA comes out with an eagle, a couple of birdies down the stretch. You never know. That's the beauty of live sport. So it's a different mentality, because in golf, you're trying to beat the rest of the field. Tennis, you're playing against one other person. Right now, it is match play between the two of them.
Second to 15 for Yu Liu, giving it the lean as though she started it right of the pin. About 8 feet right, maybe 10. And if NASA is to do, as Kate suggested, every opportunity is going to need to be taken. So this needs to be pretty tight at 14. And tight it is. Chance of a birdie here on this final day in Shanghai. Brooke Henderson has tapped in. Danielle Kang has 2-putted to maintain a 1-shot lead over Jess Corder. Nasa Hataoka with a birdie chance coming at the 14th, and to close the gap to within 3 in the final round of the Buick LPGA Shanghai. It seems like for a while we've been surveying this beautiful landscape at Shijong Garden Golf Club and saying it's a 1-shot lead in favour of Danielle Kang, and that's the way it is. Not far away from coming down the stretch, and Se-Young Kim looking for a good finish, looking for position. A birdie here at the 14th would help. Tied 6th at present. She's going to have one of everything in her last 3 holes. Bogey at 12, birdie at 13, par at 14. And as we head down the stretch, getting close to it on Sunday, Ali Whittaker steps back into the commentary box for the conclusion. And we've seen a bit of that today.
Yeah, I wouldn't miss the conclusion. You Lou, wouldn't miss that. Nice birdie there at the 15th.
Come on, Kristen. We're all behind you here in the commentary box. We want you to start making some putts. Hey, one goes in. It's been a frustrating day on the greens for the American, especially being as strong as she is with that putter. But it's starting to behave now. Back-to-back birdies.
Now to Jin Young Ko. Not the week she was hoping for when you're the world number one. Of course, the weight of expectation sits rather heavily on your shoulders.
Just came off that major that she won in Korea. Double major champion on the Japan Tour, Nasa Hataoka, coming in this week after 2 good wins on her home tour. She brought a few of the fans with her by the sounds of it then.
Yes, sirree.
3 back. Who knows? Anything could happen at 17.
Grace Kang, Danielle's mum, is here this week. They will go out and celebrate her birthday tonight on the Bund. If she plays well, they might have a bit more spending money to buy a few bottles of champagne. But first, she's going to have to tackle the 14th hole, and with the tee back, it's not drivable, as we saw yesterday, Ali.
No, it's not. What a shame. But anyway, no, the pin is all the way tucked in the back, which means you kind of want to be down the right half of the fairway, just short of this bunker at 245. So 230 shot, lay back, take the medicine and give yourself a little short iron in, because there's plenty helping you on this green off that back left edge. A little bit of a slope you can use.
Only a yard between all 3 players, 112 for Jess. Punching that in, got to stop though. It's caught up just off the back. When you finally hit this 14th hole, you really feel like you're in the home stretch through these last 5 holes.
I mentioned before the numbers for the last 5 holes for the big 2. -4 for Jess, -4 also for Danielle. Jess has played the last 3 holes 1 shot better than Danielle Kang so far this week.
Down on the fairway, they're feeling very little breeze. I'm standing up a little bit higher, quite a lot higher. It's helping them coming from their right. Same yardage, 112 for Brooke. That's got to go. It does. Very nice. It'll just be a relief for Brooke. She's shoulders are slouched and it's been a tough day.
Down off the right. Yeah, no problem. 100, but for me it's 100 shut down. I know what it feels. Perfect. Yeah, exactly. Trust it, stay aggressive.
Trust it, stay aggressive. Words he has said over every shot in this final round.
Just a yard closer for Danielle.
It's on.
She's a tough taskmaster. It's a brave man. Oh, it's a pretty good shot still. Expectations. Quite a demanding tee shot. Reasonably demanding second as well. There's the slope. Might be a little bit of a slippery putt to come.
This might be slippery as well. Oh, she is willing for it to go in. 1 back, quarter. Last win came in Thailand In 2018, it was a stunning score, 25 under par in hot and humid conditions. Got the better of the golf course.
That was after her surgery, where she'd had 27 screws inserted into her jaw. She was having sleep apnea, she was having migraines. Actually blotted her vision in one of her eyes as well, so went through the procedure to clear that up.
She had to sleep sitting upright as well. It got so bad, I understand. So she's a fit and healthy quarter. She's got an obstacle in the way of her and this trophy in Shanghai, which comes in the form of Danielle Kang, who is not going away.
And most of the time, she's been putting after Jess, because Jess has been at long range with her putts today. So, again, she has the opportunity of stretching the lead. Jess is going to make par at best. Danielle can make birdie. Agony just a little bit further. Still it's one, and it seems to have been that way almost forever.
Well, they're holding on to the lead, but this player is marching up the board.
Not the worst leave there. Short right to that pin, pitching back up the green, but she'd want it in closer if she's going to make a real challenge.
And speaking of in close, finally Brooks got one in there.
Oh, and can she salvage something from today? She's just been all hard.
Waited a long time, but the first birdie of the day comes at 14 for Brooke Henderson. Little consolation for a player of her calibre, however.
Might be 3 in a row for Kristen. This is at the 16th hole, and Jin Young Ko has found a watery grave, we believe. Let's find out how she did it. This was her tee shot just a moment or two ago. She's equal 7th, or she was when she was standing on the 16th tee, and she's not going to be that, barring a miracle, when she walks off. Dave's going to be the catcher. That's one. And he'll be catching a second time with the slope that's there in all likelihood. So they'll find the spot where it hit the ground with the second drop, place it there, and then Jin Young will be looking to perform a bit of a miracle and see if she can hold that for a 3.
Good to see her taking care of the rules by herself without calling over an official. Pop up for quarter. Still one behind. A lot of green to work with for Nasa Hataoka at 15, looking to chase this one up. Keep on coming, keep feeding.
The struggle at the top continues, and those who are trying to do something about it from behind have been doing their best over the last hour, including the young woman we just saw, Nasa Hataoka. When she rolled this in at 12, we were thinking, maybe. Seems like it might be a bit far back, though.
The world number 1, Jin Young Ko, didn't get a chance to chat about her much the first couple of days, but just creeping insidiously up that leaderboard. That was a good putt at 13. Moved to 10 under.
And what a day from Megan Kang, and what a back nine, in all fairness. The hole-in-one on 11, birdies at 14, 16, and that one at 17, en route to her 64 today.
And we said maybe with Nasser, with what she was able to do at 12. And then when she came up with this approach at the 14th, we were saying it again, maybe. And she went on to make the birdie.
It was a fantastic front nine for Yu Liu, out in 31 to insert her name into the conversation. She got another birdie on the back nine in the 14th hole. So Yu Liu currently 11 under par, 4 off the pace.
The leaderboard has a very similar look about it to the way it's looked for the last hour and then some. Danielle Kang clinging on to a one-shot lead over Jess Corder. The separation of those two from the rest of the field has been maintained. Nasa Hataoka will need to do something very spectacular. Yu Liu is having a great day, but it's Danielle and Jess still battling it out every step of the way. Just the one name on that trophy. Danielle Kang breasted the tape last year in front of the field to get her name on the trophy for the first time. She might do it again. She might make sure she's the only name on that trophy. She's heading in that direction. And here she is at the 15th tee.
Good, solid shot straight down the centre for Danielle Kang. She has just been quite amazing to watch over these last 2 days.
It's incredible to think that the margin's still just one shot between them, but it's really felt like it's been Danielle's day so far. This for par. To complete the up and down at 15. Hataoka, no problem at all.
Little bit of breeze springing up directly behind Jess. Now this is a big drive down the left side. It'll find the fairway. It's also going to find the bottom of the hill too. It's huge.
I had dinner with Jess the other night. She wasn't enamoured with the 15, I have to say. It's not a love affair, so she can get through this hole with a par or better. That'll be a big stride.
Well, part one of the equation safely done. She crunched that drive. Good try from Liu. That was for birdie at the 16th hole, the par 3. It's come back down to earth on the back nine. Sizzling front.
Hard to replicate an outward 9 of 31. And it is hard to maintain that momentum. But she's done the work to get herself up into a very good finish. All right, back to the main game.
Eight iron in for Danielle Kang, and it's a good looking line again. Down breeze. Oh, nice shot. She's not letting up.
She's leading the tournament, and she's had one birdie, and that has come at the opening hole. Since then, it has been a string of pars.
And just a couple of yards closer. And bouncing up the hole, that might run on by. It does fall away behind the flag.
That was a big bounce. When you're having that sort of day, that's what happens.
Breeze has picked up considerably just in the last minute or so. Jess only 114 to the pin after that big drive. Another nice looking shot. Just a little shy though, too much spin on it as well, and it's still working its way back.
Sit down. A familiar distance for Jess Corder and a familiar result.
Yeah, it was extremely uphill, that putt. Just was never going to have the legs to get up there.
So once again, we find ourselves in a situation where Danielle Kang has the door open. She hasn't been able to close it yet on her opponent. I wonder if this is going to go all the way to 18, or whether the Aon risk reward hole 17 will live up to its name. Somebody might take the risk and get a very large reward.
It's interesting, whenever the quarters are overseas, Peter often stays on the same time zone as them, so that if they need to contact him, he's awake. And so I presume that he's tuning in. And I would not be surprised at all to see Nelly. She's got a couple of holes left to play to shoot back out onto the golf course and maybe try and give Jess a bit of a boost as well.
Well, this is going to be a huge putt now for Danielle Kang. This gives her the opportunity to go 2 ahead with just 3 holes to play. And it will be the first time all day that there'll be more than a shot between them.
It all changed around at the first hole when Danielle made a birdie and Jess made a bogey, and that was the last time the birthday girl made a birdie today. Now would be a good time to change that. For a 2-shot lead. That could turn out to be monumental. Look at the look she just gave Ollie there. That was a look that said that was the one that we were after. And as Jess looks on in the background, she probably knew that eventually it would have to happen. And now it happens 3 holes from the finish.
And the thing too, Pete, Jess has got a little bit of work left in her putt. It's a good few feet in it. And this is just to stay 2 behind, make par.
As Ali said, she'll be pleased to see the back of 15. Not her favourite hole. She hasn't done anything wrong. It's just that her opponent has done a lot right. Birdie 1, birdie 15. Is that going to set Danielle Kang on the path to victory?
From the back edge at 16, this for birdie. Hataoka. I'll keep travelling. Ooh, it would have been to get to not within one of Jessica Corder at least.
Well, now that Danielle Kang has made her birdie at 15, I think we can safely rule a line under Jess Corder's name. We've been speculating about whether it's a battle in 2, but now, realistically, it is. Go back to a couple of days ago, what NASA did from practically nowhere on this green at 16. Well, she had 4 putts from not far away. Take that out of the equation, and she's up in a 3-way fight.
Same thing could be said really about Kristen Gilman on the greens coming into this, but it's a bit of a fooling stat in a way, the fact that your putts often go up when you're not that close to the pin. Easiest way to get your putting average down is either to miss greens or hit it close. There's a big distance between the two.
I like the way she's been able to hang in there today, Ali. It would have been very frustrating the number of times that she caught the edge of the hole early on, but she's maintained her composure. Even after a bogey was the first variation from par, 3 birdies after that. That's maturity. Very impressive display from this young woman, Kristen Gilman. Up tied 4th with Yu Liu. Nasa Hataoka probably in the back of her mind now. Once she sees a scoreboard, will realise that her dream of winning the golf tournament is over And finally, we shake it down to 2. Danielle Kang makes a birdie at 15. Jess Corder makes a par. There's 2 between them, but there's still a bit of golf to come. The par 3 16th, the long par 5 17th, and the daunting finishing hole still ahead of the big 2 on Sunday.
Just a moment ago at the par 3 16th. Danielle now 2-shot lead with 3 holes to play. Stays on dry land. That's the first accomplishment. Another good look at birdie. And now live. Jessica again trails by 2, and that's certainly not where she wanted to leave it, because she's going to leave Danielle with a nice read from her putt.
Second at the par 5 for Yulu. Just laying up short of that bunker. Out of the rough, no real chance to attack the pin from there. 5 under the card for her round today.
We're at the final hole, and we're with Georgia Hall from England.
Putting together a nice little end to the season. 9th at the Indy Women in Tech Championship. 4th at the Volunteers of America Classic in her last 2 starts.
And she's picked up 2 here today, and it's going to be 3. Georgia Hall will knock that in for a birdie, and that will elevate her all the way up to -7. It'll tie her with Shan Feng.
Second shot for Jin Young Ko at the par 5. Plenty of club in hand. Just taking the safe play out to the left. Be pitching back up over a ridge to the pin today. But a couple of really big moments coming up on 16 green. You just get the feeling Jessica Corder, she needs to make a putt.
Yeah. Otherwise, Danielle is not completely in a comfort zone, but has that cushion, has that buffer, which will allow her to play golf that doesn't need to be foot to the floor, pedal to the metal golf. She can play commercially from here on in if Jess can't hold her putt. Because Danielle's definitely going to make no more than 2 putts from where she is. Jess needs to make 1.
It'll be very interesting, Pete, in the scheme of things, of the number of putts these 2 players have had today. Jess, of course, had a couple of 3 putts early in her round. She's only had a couple of 1 putts, so her putting stats will not be flashed today. Where, on the other hand, the up and down queen, that is Danielle Kang, will not have had very many, because she's just got it up and down from everywhere.
And when you think about the number of times that she has got up and down from situations where she had no right to, it would be approaching double figures. It's probably about between 8 and 10. Take those 1 single shots off those holes, and she's not even in the mix. That's how good she's been. And in contrast, Saturday and Sunday have been 2 days to forget for this young Canadian. But what a player she is. What a competitor. 10 top 10 finishes, 2 wins this year. The Lotte Championship, the Myer LPGA Classic. For Brooke Henderson, she'll live to fight another day.
Just a little clean-up in the end for the English starlet, Georgia Hall. And a really good finish, 4 birdies in the last 6 holes en route to that 69.
Here comes the moment now. If she's going to win, this just about has to fall right now. And a bit over 3 feet on the way back.
And then, of course, opens the door for Danielle Kang. I mean, if she can hold this, she can now jump 3 ahead with just 2 to play.
It opens the door, Sandy, for a chance to close it shut for Danielle.
I don't know. I'm not sold yet, guys. Not with 17 coming up next. Nelly Corder, the younger sister, managed to equal that. Still an opportunity for a 2-shot swing at the next.
But if this goes in, even a 2-shot swing mightn't be enough. If. We say that a lot, don't we? Little word, big consequences.
Well, she's not missed too many today. Contrast is that Jess Corder has not made anything, where yesterday she was quite spectacular on the greens.
She got a look at the line. She got a look at the speed from Jess just a few seconds ago. It's not done yet.
Didn't quite get the measure of it right, it seems. It deserved more.
That'll be a top 10, though. The second of the season. She was runner-up in the Indy Women in Tech Championship. Her best result apart from that was at the ShopRite Classic, where she finished 11th. And that puts Nana Kurtz-Madsen up into a tie for 10th.
These two are chasing each other around the 16th hole.
She strides purposely in the direction of the 17th team, the tee, knowing that it's not done yet, but knowing also that it's going to take something heroic. First things first, this one has to go in. You'd think it was a mere formality from what we've seen so far today and so far this week from Danielle Kang, but I mentioned before, all of these ones need every little bit of attention that you've got. 2 up, 2 to play. And so they try and work out what's the correct line of that putt for next year.
Yeah. That is so fun. You know, I tried to die that in the like, thank God I tried to die. I don't know where would have gone.
Take it off.
Took a bit of a jump halfway, but it doesn't bother her. J.O. indeed. Let's go, they say. 6 under par.
And so that means she's up in a tie for third now with Nasa Hataoka. The big two come to the Aon Risk Reward hole. Of course, there are several ways of playing the hole. And the Aon Risk Reward holes throughout the year, for the player that plays them best, there is a cool $1 million waiting.
And if you want to shave a little of the hole off, the advantage is down the left-hand side. Safe play out to the right if you want to lay up. Want to try and keep those bunkers out of the equation if you can. But it's not a straightforward layup, even down the flank. But if you do go down the left-hand side off the tee, well, it shortens the yardage substantially, and with the pin up the back today, gives you the straightest look at it, but plenty of trouble up by the green. Keep those 3 big bunkers out to the right, out of the picture, if you can. But for those of you that can hit the green in 2, well, last year, everyone that hit the green in 2, they averaged better than birdie. So that is where the Aon insight is here at the Aon Risk Reward Challenge hole, the 17th.
And Ariya Jutanugarn made a birdie here yesterday, so she stretched her lead a little over Carlotta Saganda and Hyoju Kim. Leanne Pace of South Africa had been leading the competition for a little while, but it's Ariya Jutanugarn who, by the look of it, is about to jump in with a birdie at the final hole, and she made another birdie at 17 today, so that helps.
And that wasn't the best strike there for Kristen Gilman, but she's going to get away with it. Maybe. Oof, that nestled down. Just turned it over a little bit. Safe play out to the left.
A birdie finish then for the world number 10. It is indeed. With the snappy shoes on, she's been trying to get a hug and some skin, high fives from her caddy throughout the week with not much joy a couple of times, but she's got a big smile on her face, and why not?
In range is Hataoka. Ooh. Hopefully not up the back of that bunker. That'll complicate things. Can use a little bit of the slope to help her roll it down to the green if she's got a decent lie.
They did go in at speed, so it's a bit of a worry.
Okay, on the Aon Risk Reward Challenge hole, let's see if any of these are prepared to take a risk. Our leader by 2, Danielle Kang, first to go, but she's played down the right-hand side every day. Even playing the safe way, she's gone birdie, par and eagle. This is a nice-looking drive, just tight on the right-hand side of the bunkers.
Oh, that's just perfect. That's just what she wanted.
A little bit of breeze coming into them off the tee here as well.
Tendency to take it back just a little inside on the way through, comes across it. Covers the impact zone with her right hand.
Now, wondering if Brooke might have a little bit of a crack at this because nothing else has gone right for her today. Maybe she can bring in a good number.
Well, it's not driver, Sandy.
Well, that's a surprise. I thought she might have had a bit of a go here. Although with 3 wood She has gone down the left yesterday with 3 wood, or tried to. Not today, playing down the right-hand side on Danielle's line. Will go. Just got over the bunkers.
So here's the shot. What does Jess do? Does she take it down the left because it's about 240 and then some change to get to that water that you see on the left-hand side? Or does she take it along the same line as Danielle? It looks as though we have our answer.
She has been going down the right-hand side the times that I've been watching her. No driver in hand. So just going to play this for safety, and that's just working its way back to the bunker. But over.
Oh, she was calling for that to carry.
Well, she's got some company. It's a fair way up towards the back, though, so it's going to be awkward. So she's having to almost get into ready, set, go position.
I've been working a lot on her physical strength and her lower body stability. And the Japanese national side. It's going to come in handy here. It's going to kick well forward when it hits the putting surface. Worth the clap. That was a great shot. Seriously good from down there. I think Se Young Kim would take it if she had the option, quite frankly.
Se Young's tied with Kristen at 11 under as we stand right now. Kristen is certainly in the range where birdie is possible. In fact, it's more likely than not. Careful, Se Young. She's just a little further forward from that little tongue of the bunker compared to where NASA was standing and having to stand. These deliberations will be giving the players down in the fairway a little bit more time to ponder what they're about to do. Two pretty tidy shots. In fact, 3 very tidy shots. Kristen Gilman out of the fluffy rough, Se Young Kim and Nasa Hataoka from the sand, and all of them will be putting for birdie. In behind them, the main game goes on, and Danielle Kang is in position A in the fairway at 17.
Now Jess Corder with the utility club out of the rough. The ball is laying okay. 200 front, 226 to the pin. Oh, it's good solid contact, and it's on the line. A little to the right now. Takes the big bounce.
We said she needed eagle, certainly birdie, and she's given herself a chance at both of those.
Well, this is the big shot. Pete, Danielle Kang, 2 ahead in the centre of the fairway. 190 to the front. It was absolutely spectacular with her second in here yesterday. Now that's got to stop. That's going way right.
Hang on a minute.
Ooh.
Oh, boy. She's made precious few errors today and this week. How big is that going to turn out to be? That'll test her skills of recovery.
A final flourish from Angel Yin at the last. Touch of heaven. 3 in the last 4 for the American. Still a round of 73, little move in the wrong direction, but it should be good enough for about a top 15 for Angel Yin.
The gallery assembled around the last, unaware of the drama that's unfolding at 17. We'll take you back there in a moment. Most of those people around 18 willing this one to go in. If it does, Yu Liu can sign for a 65. Extraordinary comeback after what she had in the first round, a 76 in the first round, and then she's got it going. You'll hear this one around the golf course if this drops. Players at 17 would have heard that, a long way away from where they are at the moment. What a finish. Birdie 15, birdie 17, birdie 18, 65. Just a mere 11 shots better than her first round. What 3 days of fight back from Yu Liu.
All right, while we were in break, this was the 3rd shot for Danielle Kang at the par 5 17th. Jessica Korda, who trails by 2, is on the green with a look at eagle. So we could have quite a swing here as we get to the putting surface. And now live with Korda. This for eagle.
Quite the right line. Birdie is not a certainty just yet. It has to happen.
She just hasn't had it on the greens so far today, and she's usually so rock solid from the front of the leaderboard. Jess Korda, she's converted 3 from 4 54-hole leads.
How far right Kristen Gilman is aiming because of the shape that is likely to eventuate with the ball above her feet.
Nice shot. Nice shot. Nice shot.
She's come up with a couple of stunning shots, brilliant recovery shots. Sometimes you remember the days where you see a young player emerge, and I think we're going to remember her emergence this week.
What can Danielle Kang do here? This is her par putt. Got up and down, birdie putt. Got up and down so many times during this round and yesterday. This would be another exceptional up and down.
In all likelihood, she's going to go to the last tee with a 1-shot advantage.
Has asked a lot of questions of Danielle Kang, and she's got an A+. So far, she's had all of the answers. Scrapes out of there with a par. She'll take it.
Nasser at the final hole, looking to break out of a tie for 3rd with Yu Liu over the helicopter. And that won't be easy to make from back there. In all likelihood, a par. Let's go back to 17.
This will be a birdie putt for Brooke Henderson as well. Try and salvage a little something out of today. And of course, every shot counts. I said before, Rolex ranking, all the standings, CME, money lists, so much to take in.
She's so well liked in the golfing world, so well respected. It's a little hard to watch. 2 over the card today. It's the worst score inside the top 25.
Three and a half feet, perhaps getting up to 4 for birdie to reduce the gap to 1 to make it a possibility. Jess Corder has gone par, birdie on the final hole so far this week. Danielle Kang has made par every day.
Okay, needing to just negotiate the fairway here. Water and bunkers left, but this is perfect. Straight down the centre for Jess Corder.
Unlike a tee shot a couple of days ago on 18, where she clattered it down the right-hand side, hit a tree full on and bounced straight back out into the fairway. Still advantage Danielle Kang at the 72nd hole.
Well, Danielle has hardly missed the centre of a fairway. This one's going a little to the right-hand side, but it's going to be absolutely fine. Her driving has just been impeccable. Just saw Jess's sister Nellie wandering down the side of 18 here.
We could have predicted that.
She'll be going to give any kind of boost she can, no doubt. It was a great shot in from Kristen Gilman. It's been a very handy finish. Improved there by the birdie at the last. 5 birdies in the last 6 holes. She showed some maturity today.
That is a performance to announce yourself. Brilliant stuff from Kristen Gilman. Now Brooke at the end of a long weekend.
And it will be a relief to see this 18th hole for Brooke today, Pete, and that is just down the left-hand side, but on the fairway.
So Jess's mindset has to be birdie, especially after having seen Danielle's drive. She'll be thinking, if I make par here, it's probably not going to be good enough. Danielle Kang with the narrowest of advantages, perhaps striding towards defending.
Yeah, I think so.
But both players here have exactly the same yardage. Jess going first, 153 to get it all the way back to the pin.
I think this is a good thing for Jess to go first.
So do I, Pete. I think she was very keen to. She had the club in her hand. She was ready to go when she asked Danielle. Left Danielle a bit flat-footed on the answer there. Needs a birdie desperately, and this is, well, right. It needs to get some slope. Or when it did, but where's it going to finish up?
Her reaction tells the tale.
Yeah, not in birdie range either.
I don't think I'll put this more than 40.
We'll cut that, no problem.
Not going to be long.
No, not. I can close.
Off the right.
Off the right.
so many times. She's been in nearly impossible situations, definitely improbable, and she's worked her way out of them this week.
Line is excellent, just drifting a little left with the breeze. There you go.
Just what she wanted. Surely no more than 2 putts from there. And so she says to Jess Corder, if you're going to extend this, you're going to have to make an unlikely birdie.
Just 1 yard closer for Brooke Henderson. Now she'd love to finish on a birdie. Might make the day a little more palatable. Nice looking line as well, though. Oh, that's good.
Better than good.
A bit of an ironic finish, really.
Indeed.
The best ever Canadian golfer, male or female. All eyes switch now to Danielle Kang.
3 times.
In a row.
On different days as well.
Every day.
Yeah.
3 days in a row would have been pretty incredible.
It's been a pretty incredible week.
Thanks. I don't know where I'm at, but
Nah, don't worry about it.
should be okay.
Yeah, you just do you.
It was a lot of sand.
Your
I
face.
hit it and it went.
For someone who is very feisty on the golf course, she's been channeling Monty Python a little bit this week. Always look on the bright side of life.
Jessica Porter of the United States, Danielle Kang of the United States, and Brooke Henderson of Canada.
They've walked every step of the way together for the weekend. The same 3-ball yesterday, which provided some spectacular golf. It was stuff that you couldn't look away from. At times it was brilliant, at other times it was dramatic because it was going in the other direction. And again, they've put on a great battle today. Brooke has been the support act. The other two have been slugging it out.
And if this were to be our last hole, there's a considerable amount or number of water bottles and players at the back of 18, which is usual.
Might be switched for something else at the presentation, Sandy.
I'm sure it will, Pete.
A little stronger.
I have to say, regardless of what happens here, this has just been an absolute pleasure to watch this one particular group in the last 2 days. But this must go in.
She had an unlikely putt at Blue Bay a couple of years ago from the back of the green, which she nearly holed. Gave it a run from about this length. Danielle Kang then has 2 putts for victory.
It's a day that it hasn't been without its opportunities today for Jess Corder, has to be said. She just couldn't seem to capitalise when the time was hers.
And his little sister Nellie looks on the right of your picture. What has been a really productive week that has produced some great golf from Jess Corder is looking likely to fall at least 1 short. But what a battle she's provided us with.
And as you'd expect, a classy move there, finishing off.
Yeah. Leaving the stage to the champion, the defending champion, and Brooke Henderson will do the same thing. And the 22-year-old from Canada will be saying, thank goodness that's over. It finishes with a birdie, and that smile on her face says exactly that.
I wonder if this showing today and this week is a sign of things to come from Danielle Kang. It looks like it's going to be her first ever defence, and a successful one of that, of the title here in Shanghai.
As you go through your life, you occasionally remember birthday presents you got along the way. Danielle Kang is likely to remember the present that she got for her 26th birthday, and today, on the day she turns 27, she's in line for another one. That is a very nervous smile. One more deep breath. Pull the trigger. Get it done. Danielle Kang makes sure that her name is the only name on the Buick LPGA trophy.
Congrats! Thanks, Gabby.
Happy birthday to you on her 27th birthday. Danielle Kang defends successfully in Shanghai. That was a performance of remarkable mental fortitude at times. When we look at the highlights reels, we'll look back at some of the eagles and some of the birdies that she's made, but we could almost do a compilation of the number of times when from unlikely positions she's been able to salvage something. And that's the reason that she's going to get the trophy shortly.
You know what, yesterday, 2 opening bogeys. She'd almost written herself out of the picture, but boy, what a turnaround. Bogey-free since then. And she was up against multiple challenges today, and she just answered back every single time. A sheer determination.
Sorry, he's been with me all week.
And true grit, that's what got her through.
I'll be back.
And you'd think that despite all of the adrenaline that is going on in her body at the moment, on her 27th birthday, she's going to the Bund in Shanghai tonight to celebrate. But when her head hits the pillow tonight, you would think that she would sleep very well, because not only was that a test of her golf game, but it was a test of her mental strength so many times, even right down to the last putt when she left it that nervous distance. That is a performance of the highest quality.
It really does feel like the lessons that she learnt en route to winning here last year, she put into context again out there today.
How many times did we talk about those memories that she'd be drawing on over the last hour or so?
I did it!
She did it, and she drew on how she did it 12 months ago, I'm sure, to get it done. It took 2 putts at the last, but we do have a worthy winner. And if the dates stay the same, she'll be back on her birthday weekend next year to try and make it 3 in a row. The water shower perhaps about to be changed for something a little more bubbly. The presentation shortly. Hugs all round. Great fellowship amongst the players. Amy Yang and Lizette Salas amongst the players to congratulate her. And let's spare a thought for Jess, who played so well. She beat the rest of the field by 2 shots. There won't be of much consolation to her at the moment. As you said, Ali, she had her chances today, but they were only half chances. She didn't create a lot of cast iron opportunities along the way.
Well, how many times today did we say that Danielle Kang was totally in control and the margin was 1?
Yeah.
It was almost like every single time it happened, Jess Corder had to look for a leaderboard just for the affirmations that were on it.
And we look for the leaderboard now, and it's the final one. An even par round of Jess Corder sees her fall just 1 short. Danielle Kang, a 2 under par round of 70 to close, backs it up. The defending champion wins in Shanghai. A tie for third, Yu Liu on a Sunday run with a 7 under 65. Nasa Hataoka of Japan with a 68. Kristen Gilman announcing herself with a mature performance with a 68 to close. And it was also a 68 for Se Young Kim. Megan Kang came with a rush, 64 on the final day. And she joined Eria Jutanagan in a tie for 7th. The top 10 rounded out by Nelly Corder, Jin Young Ko and Brooke Henderson, who finished in a tie for 9th place at 9 under. What an enjoyable weekend of golf that was, and it was fitting that it went right down to the wire because it's captivated us. From the time that we came on air with our coverage yesterday, the start of round 3 coverage, all the way to the last shot of round 4. And part of the reason it was so captivating is because of Danielle Kang and her day, her Sunday. We mentioned the need for it to get off to a flying start. When you're going head to head with someone, if you can make the statement early, that puts the pressure back on your opponent, and that's the way to do it. And she set up a birdie at the first, but it was a long wait for the next one.
She really hung in there. You know, we often talk about the birdies, but some of the par saves that went between 1 and 11 were pretty majestic as well, and that was another fantastic shot at the par 3.
And she had to wait until 15 to get her second red figure on the card. And when this one fell, she was most certainly in the driver's seat. And she needed that cushion.
And then this at the last, just outside the circle of friendship. It was a nervous giggle, but a confident putt. And a round of 70 in the end, good enough to get the job done.
Well, let's not forget the role that that man had, Ollie Brent. Carrying the bags, doing the numbers, and keeping the head of his player clear and happy throughout the week. This is the update for the race to the CME Globe. After the completion of this week, Danielle Kang moves up into 9th place. Jin Young Ko, of course, still with the lead, and what a substantial lead it is of around 1,400 points. Jong-un Lee, the US Open champion, rounding out the top 3 with Brooke Henderson in the 2nd spot, and Danielle up to 9th. She gets it done. She gets it done by a shot. Danielle Kang passes the $1 million mark in earnings in 2019 with victory. And very shortly, she'll be getting the trophy. And after all, she's the only one who's ever got it. That trophy presentation coming up next. Hugs all round for Danielle Kang after her victory in Shanghai for the 2nd year running, a 27th birthday present and a hug from Mum. And time for celebration in one of the world's great cities tonight. So for the 2nd time, Danielle is about to be presented with the Buick LPGA Shanghai Trophy. Let's go down for the official presentation now. Here's Kate Burton.
It's been a closely fought contest between two of the very best in the game, but only one could emerge victorious. Delighted to welcome you all to the prize presentation, and a pleasure to welcome Mr. Gu, the marketing director of Buick, and our champion, our successfully defending champion, Danielle Kang, in 2019. Danielle, happy birthday. How's it going so far?
It's going great. It was a really stressful day, but I definitely played well out there. It was really tough because you're definitely watching what Jessica's shooting and scoring, and Ollie just tried to keep me in my own game. But there were a lot of birdie opportunities. I made some really great up and downs, and I've never been more nervous than the last putt for some reason, but I made it. So
yeah, there was a little bit of work in that last putt, but it was so close throughout. You broke away with that fantastic birdie on the 15th to give yourself that two-shot buffer. Did you breathe a sigh of relief then?
No, I definitely did not. I know how great of a player Jessica is, and I knew that there was a par 3 coming up, which wasn't easy, and also a reachable par 5. Jess, it's way further than I do, so I knew that I have to capitalize on that hole, and it definitely wasn't a breather. Now, if I made the putt on 16, then maybe, but I knew that she also had an opportunity, so you never know. And plus, 18 is also a birdieable hole, so.
Yeah, tough closing holes down the stretch. Your ability to stay so positive was fantastic. How did you do that? How did you keep on, having that great chat with yourself, with Ollie, who was giving you so much good communication and telling you to stay positive, stay focused, be aggressive?
One of the main things that I work on is to be positive. My brother told me a few years back that, tell myself a lot of positive things that you do on the golf course, so I could, so I don't get so dwell up on all the negatives that happen sometimes. And I don't know, it's something that I'm working on, something that I got reminded of, and it's just, yeah. It's
and
been a good day.
Your short game was incredible.
Yeah, I
Did you impress yourself?
I started challenging Ollie at one point, saying, "Oh, watch, I got this one." He goes, "D, just middle of the green is okay." And then I hit it, short sided myself. I think 5 holes in a row, and it was a bit of a challenge. But I definitely trusted my short game. I went home last week. I flew all the way back from Korea, and I worked on short game with my brother, and I've been working on short game with Maverick. And you know what? My mom told me that I needed my chipping to get better, and it's definitely better. So
and always listen to your mum. Your mum Grace is here this week, so a lovely chance to celebrate your birthday. But what a way to do it in style and win here. It's a tremendous championship, one that you're very fond of, clearly, winning it back to back.
Yeah, it's definitely, that's got a nice ring to it, back to back. I've done that in the USAM, and I did it again. It's really cool to defend, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, well, a lovely way to celebrate your birthday. And can we ask Stephanie from Buick to present you? Look at this cape. It's got a cape on. You were Superwoman out there today.
Thank you, I love it. I like the golf holes and everything.
We won't let you eat it just yet. We'll pass that cake back to Stephanie because more important matters come. You'll be able to have a slice of it in a minute. You can blow out the candles in just a few moments' time. But if I can please ask Mr. Gu from Buick to present the magnificent trophy to our champion in 2019. Let's hear it for the Buick LPGA Shanghai champion, Danielle Kang.
Danielle got the champagne spray 12 months ago.
Okay. Thank you. Hey, Ollie, you want to give us the trophy? He said he wanted to. He said he wanted to this time. He said he wanted to. That was his this time.
Of the day for the young American, but a couple American flags again. They had a good showing here last time round, so something in the water in Shanghai from those from the USA.
And how about Megan Kang with a hole-in-one, closing out with a 8-under par round of 64. What a pleasure it has been this weekend. It's just been a delightful weekend of golf. Magnificent.
Unbelievable scoring yesterday and an incredible story today that kept us on the edge of our seats the entire time.
So then, I hope you've enjoyed it. On behalf of Ali Whittaker, Kate Burton, Sandy McKenzie and our entire team, headed by Michael O'Dwyer and Wayne Suter, thanks for being with us. Congratulations to Danielle Kang, the champion at the Buick LPGA Shanghai in 2019. We'll see you next week in Korea.